Evening. Woo! Hi, I'm Mike. Constipation. It's a bastard of a thing. Do you know I haven't had a shit for 3 months? You the same? That's what that expression is for, is it? Well, do you know, I went to the doctors. And you know what the doctor's like? He gave me 3 options. He said, you could try a bungee jump. You could try a parachute jump. Or you could try stand-up comedy. Oh God, I think it's working. I know you're going to be hanging on my every turd now, aren't you? Yes. I know it's crap, it's crap. Look, I've had 40 other jobs. I've been crap at most of them. I've been so bad at some that people used to laugh at me. I can say I'm not going to have that problem this evening. Do you know I've been made redundant 12 times? It's not a record, it's more of an MP4. Or would it be an MP45? Well, I know the M stands for mics, and it makes things smaller. The MP4, that is. Not redundancy, that just gives you that loose women's addiction. Now, luckily enough, I was brought up in a place called Pontardawe. Hey. Oh, well, you won't get much smaller than Pontardawe. It's a little village in the Swansea Valley. It's not the end of the world, but you can see it from there. Do you know, in fact, this place is so small that we used to share the village prostitute with the next village. And we had a guy that lived in that village that used to look after 4 prostitutes. They called him Pedwar Pimp. Now, its only claim to fame... Yeah, she's from Pontardawe, you can tell, can you? No, its only claim to fame is an entry it had in the Guinness Book of Records in 1976, which said it's the only place in the world, it's the only village in the world, where the teenage girls have the highest sperm count. Well, look, I was actually brought up in Gorsinan, which is midway between Swansea and Llanelli. Now, if you come from Swansea, you're known as a Jack. And if you come from Llanelli, you're known as a Turk. I suppose that makes me a jerk. I found school really, really traumatic, but I was good at 2 subjects. Good at 3 subjects, sorry, English and maths. Good God, I'm forgetting my lines, yeah, never mind. It does get better. But I remember speaking to the careers master and him telling me everything that I couldn't do. And I thought, if you're that good at finding people a job, finding people a career, why don't you get yourself a better job? Anyway, this girl that went in after me, her name was Fern. Now, she wanted to be politically active. She liked to project her anger without letting the facts get in the way. You know, God, I tell you what, Matt, sign her up.
Aye, but she's laughing at Matt's electric joke.
Oh, damn, yes. So anyway, she liked to be politically, she wanted to be politically active. So she said to the careers master, what do I do? You know, what are my options? He said, well, you can either be a politician or a new age traveller. She said, well, what's the difference? He said, well, one is a Berkshire scrounger who sponges off the state, contributes nothing to society, and comes up with ridiculous ideas on how to change the world. And the other's a new age traveller. So as I said, my name's Mike. What a fantastic name. What a sensational name. You just got to look everywhere you can see the name Mike. Look at the white vans you can see. Mike the plumber, Mike's haulage, Mike's taxis, Mike's place. Spelled like the fish for that touch. Look at some of the famous Michaels we've had. Michael Jackson. Now it's a dead cert he's not making a comeback. Who would have thought that he would have had a doctor that was a thriller killer? You got Michael McIntyre. Great comedian. Now he's on Britain's Got Talent. Michael Parkinson. This guy must have done something really bad to have a disease named after him. And then you've got Michael Bogdanovich, Barclay de Tolly. One of 3, I'm not saying it again, one of 3 generals in the Russian army who checkmated Napoleon in 1812. And where's he today? Dead. I got to tell you about a friend of mine. Now, his name is Mike as well, Mike Davis. Now, he likes to research ancient Egyptian history. And he was looking for an image of the cat. Do you know the cat with no fur on it? I think it's called the Sphinx cat. Well, he couldn't remember the name, so he typed into Google Images, shaved pussy. Do you know, it took him 32 pages before he could find the image that he was looking for. Well, there's some great names about on there. I mean, I wouldn't be the Mike that I am today if my name wasn't Mike. And there's some beautiful women's names as well. You've been such a great person tonight. Let's find out what your name is. Rian? Rian. What a beautiful name. Do you know, in ancient Greek, that means beauty and wisdom. In ancient Celt, it means goddess. Up the valleys, it means great whore or pisshead. Now, which one are you? If it's the last one, meet me around the back later. I'm easy to find. Big white van with Mike, crap comedian, don't make me laugh, written all over it. I looked at my wife's name. I got really excited. Now, I've been happily married for 27 years. She's been happy for 17 of those. And her name means kind, caring, loving, and open-minded. So, I wanted to spice up our love life. But how do you broach the subject of backdoor shenanigans? So, in a fit of passion, one evening I suggested we try something a little exotic around the back. She went quiet for a minute. And I said, look, if we're going to do this, we need to get a man in. Now, my sister Meryl got Leroy in from down the road. He was in and out in no time, pounding away all afternoon, and he tidied up after him. And she said, I'm sure he wouldn't mind you giving a hand if you wanted to join in. I think we got our wires crossed, because 3 weeks later, we had a built-in barbecue, a bloody water feature, a Hawaiian gazebo in the back garden. Do you know when you get over 50, you start taking up these sports, you know, that don't play so bad on your knees and your back and stuff. And I've taken up bowling. Now I met these two guys called Bill and Tom. They're in their 70s, and I thought perhaps a bit of experience would be able to teach me how to play bowls. And they're both a little bit hard of hearing. So I was playing with them a couple of days ago, and Bill said to Tom, look, you go up the top end of the rink, I'll put the jack up on the bowl, and you tell me how close I am. So Tom goes up there, Bill puts the jack up, puts the bowl up, and he shouts up to Tom and he says, Tom, how am I looking? And Tom shouts back, you're a foot in front. And Bill turns to me and said, what did he call me? Isn't it funny how people get confused though? You know, the most confused person I ever met was my cousin John. And at the age of 26, he'd made a decision he wanted to be castrated. Do you know? I'm just going to stop that a second. Because what was it, sex therapy? Yeah, do you know I was thinking of opening up a club for people with erectile dysfunction, but I was afraid no one would come. But anyway, back to my cousin John now. Now John was 26 years of age, and he decided that he wanted to be castrated. He had this big argument with the doctor, and the doctor said, you can't, you're only 26, you're in the prime of your life. He said, look, I want to be castrated, I made up my mind. 3 weeks later, they get him into the hospital, he has the operation done. And as he's coming round from the anaesthetic, there's a guy in the opposite bed and he's moaning and groaning. So John gets up on the one elbow and he says, hey, what's the matter with you? And the guy in the other bed said, oh, I've just been circumcised. And my cousin John said, bollocks, that was the word. Thank you. And you know, I've taken to going into bookshops now, second-hand bookshops, and I found this book in there which was 101 things to do in a shed. No wonder it didn't sell. No wonder it was in a second-hand bookshop. And I looked in there, and you know, there's such a thing as a bastard file. Now, any people into DIY will probably know about that, but I didn't know about this thing, a bastard file, right? Now, I've got a bastard screwdriver, and I've got a bastard hammer, and I've got a bastard drill. And I'd really love to meet the bastard who invented DIY. But I'll tell you what, it's been fantastic having the opportunity to be here in front of you this evening. I've done many things in my life. I've actually even stripped live on TV. You never believe it, ladies, and I'm not going to do it tonight. But I tell you, I would like to thank Age Cymru, who've given the four of us this evening the opportunity to be able to perform here. It's like a dream come true. And I'd like to thank you very much for being such a great audience. Thank you very much.